food is almost always better than store-bought, and the same holds true for ice cream, if you've got the right tools.
We'll get you ready to buy your perfect homemade ice cream maker on today's episode of Food Gear. There are three basic types of homemade ice cream makers: the old-fashioned hand crank buckets, electric units, and compressor systems. Now, Sarah, let's start with the classic.
Like lots of old-fashioned traditions, hand crank ice cream makers take extra work. You'll be churning these babies for a good half hour to make a batch. For most recipes, you'll need crushed ice and rock salt, which a lot of us don't keep in our pantry.
Still, hand cranks are classic for a reason. They can make the largest batches of ice cream, in some cases well over a gallon, and they're the cheapest ice cream makers you can buy. Just don't go too cheap. Make sure your hand crank has a dishwasher-friendly bucket and paddle. The crankcase should also be made of sturdy materials so that you don't get bits of stripped gears peppered into your buttered pecan.
If hand cranks sound like too much work, you can upgrade to an electric ice cream maker. These machines replace the hand crank with an electric motor and substitute rock salt and crushed ice with a special freezer bowl. That means less effort, but more planning for your ice cream adventures.
The bowl for your electric ice cream maker needs to spend between 12 and 48 hours in the freezer before you even start. Also, electric makers use recipes that require you to chill the ingredients before putting them in the machine. Many people buy a second freezer bowl just to cool down the raw mix before churning the ice cream.
That's right. Electric ice cream makers cost slightly more than hand cranks, and they do demand planning and extra freezer space for the bowls. If your dream is to make ice cream with no advance notice, a compressor ice cream maker might be your best bet.
A compressor ice cream maker is actually a miniature electric freezer. It can make ice cream on demand from the simplest list of ingredients. No pre-frozen bowls, no crushed ice or rock salt. Just mix your favorite flavor, pour it in, and turn it on. Of course, there is one catch.
Price. Compressor makers can run you a few $100s, and they only make a quart or so of ice cream. Still, if you want the easiest ice cream makers, the kind that let you start a batch of ice cream at the beginning of your dinner party, then serve fresh homemade ice cream just in time for dessert, a compressor is the ice cream maker for you. Just make sure you buy a unit with an automatic shut-off timer so you don't accidentally over-churn your ice cream.
So it breaks down like this. Hand cranks are the cheapest ice cream makers, but they require muscle power and special ingredients. Electric machines are less work and only slightly more expensive, but they need freezer space for their special bowls. Compressors are the least work of all, but they cost a whole lot more than any other ice cream maker.
Keep these distinctions in mind and you'll get the right machine for your ice cream dreams. I'm Sarah East.
And I'm David Hobbs, and this has been Food Gear. Don't shop uninformed. Subscribe now so we can help you find the right food gear.
The kind that let you start a batch at the beginning of your and then serve
natural. You belong to me, I belong to you. Oh.